Hello, first grade. Welcome to a lesson in phonics on consonant clusters. We started one the last lesson, but I'd like to continue and practice again today. If you are able to, you can look on Google Classroom where you already are to find this video, and you can follow along with me on the poems that I'm going to read today. If you cannot print them out, that's okay. Just look at them and maybe you can write down the words that we talk about today in consonant clusters. So the poem that I chose today is called Traffic Safety. And do you remember what a consonant cluster is? You're right. There are 2 or 3 letters that come together and that create a new sound, right? The 2 letters come together to make a new sound. So in the title of our poem, Traffic Safety, either one of those words, do you hear a consonant cluster? You're right. In the word traffic, traffic has the TR sound at the beginning, traffic safety. So listen carefully to the poem and use your fingers to count how many words do you hear that have a consonant cluster. Okay, we'll start with the word traffic. Traffic safety. Red light says stop. Green light says go. Yellow says be careful. You'd better go slow. So let's go line by line and see how many consonant clusters we can find. We already talked about the word traffic in our title, traffic safety. In the first line, it's called red light says stop. Any words in that sentence have a consonant cluster? You're right, in the word stop. So you can write that word or you can circle it if you were able to print this page. All right, second sentence. Green light says go. You're right, green. Green has the gr sound at the beginning. Yellow says be careful. Which word in that sentence? Oh, I tricked you, right? No words in that sentence. How about the last sentence? You'd better go slow. You're right, slow. S-L-N, slow, right? So, great practice, a great way for us to begin. But I want to go back now and I want to grab a page from the wonderful story of The Great Detective. If you remember that story of Taylor, who was a really good detective. It was one of the stories that we just read together. And I'm just pulling a page. And as I go through this page again, see if you can help me find some consonant clusters on this page. Are you ready? Taylor sniffed the air again and took a closer look through the glass window. Wow, if you see any words in that sentence, be sure to jot them down. The pie crust was turning a dark brown. Any in that sentence? I see a consonant cluster at the end of one of those words. Wow, he said to himself, this is my biggest clue yet. So that's just one page in this great story of The Great Detective. Matter of fact, in that title, The Great Detective, I hear a consonant cluster at the beginning of one of those words. So again, some great practice. And if you have an opportunity, I said, to print those pages that I included, you can for our last poem. This time it's a poem and it's called A Tiny Seed. I'm just going to read it to you. And that way, if you don't have the page in front of you, maybe you can pause the video when I'm finished and you can look carefully at the screen in order to write down any consonant clusters you hear. A tiny seed. Tiny seed planted just right, not a breath of air, nor a ray of light. Rain falls slowly to and fro, and now the seed begins to grow. Slowly reaching for the light, with all its energy, all its might. The little seed's work is almost done, to grow up tall and face the sun. So again, a great little poem, especially for this first part of spring. I know it's still a little too early to plant a seed in the ground, but it can sure make us start thinking about spring. So, Take an opportunity now to practice your consonant clusters by circling the words or writing them on a piece of paper and then dating it and putting your name on it and putting it in your folder for your blue bag so that when we get back together again, we can share. So thanks for joining me for another lesson, and stay well.